Welcome to Santa Rosa Community Health Center's HIPAA training for new staff. This presentation is intended to give you a very brief overview of HIPAA and the consequences for failure to comply with the rules and policies that are in place. Today, we will be looking at only one part of the federal law, known as the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, the part that deals with protected health information, also known as PHI. There is a long list advising what makes something protected health information. It starts with the patient name and includes every other personally identifying piece of information. The law was designed to protect patient information from being misused. This misuse could include job discrimination by employers or disclosure for personal gain. Think about the celebrities in hospitals and the information that gets to the tabloids. That information usually generates from inside of the hospital. It also empowers the patients by giving them the right to approve access and use. Failure to comply with the federal and state regulations can bring huge fines to Santa Rosa Community Health Centers. You can be fined individually and face possible jail time. Failure to comply with Santa Rosa Community Health Center's policies will result in disciplinary actions, up to and including termination of employment. Who can we share with? There are only 3 reasons that we can share information with others: treatment, payment, and operations. This is also known as TPO. We can share information on the patient, with the patient, and the patient's care team, which may include referral physicians or personal caretakers. We can share information to obtain payment for our services from third-party payers, if the patient has authorized us to bill their insurance or some other responsible person. Operationally, our quality processes often involve specific case studies, and in those instances, persons not involved with the care of the patient may review the chart for appropriateness or to help improve patient outcomes. How can we share it? The ways that we share are extremely important. In this age of electronic access, the security of patient information is critical. Unfortunately, hackers have much more time and resources to figure out ways to get electronic protected health information, also known as EPHI, than most covered entities have to stop them. So we have to limit the ways we share to those that prove to have the least risk of being hacked. How much can we access or share? The regulations are very specific, and they refer to minimum necessary, and only when necessary. Santa Rosa Community Health Center's policies are designed to provide you with guidance on job-specific access and use. If you are treating a patient for a headache today, your role may or may not require that you look at a record from 5 years ago that discusses the termination of a pregnancy. If you choose to look back, you should be able to justify your reasoning satisfactorily, or you risk disciplinary action. This includes access to your own or family members' records. These next 2 slides discuss the security measures that we have in place. Regardless of what Santa Rosa Community Health Centers has in place to protect PHI and EPHI, if each of us is not vigilant about safeguarding this information, they cannot work. Your login and password are like a fingerprint in our electronic health record systems. Wherever you go inside of the system, you leave a trail that includes your name, the date and time you accessed, where you were when you accessed the information, and what information you accessed. It is in your own best interest to protect your login information. If it is misused by someone else, there will be no acceptable explanation. There will be many times that records will be printed or copied on paper. When that happens, the paper must be safeguarded from being casually exposed to others and from being discarded improperly. All paper containing patient information must be secured at the end of each day in a locked file cabinet or a desk, and when you are done with it, place it in the shred bin. The regulations set up standards of practice with guidelines on who, when, and how covered entities, Santa Rosa Community Health Centers is a covered entity, can share PHI. It is up to each covered entity to create policies for their employees to follow and disciplinary guidelines for those who fail to adhere to those standards. Santa Rosa Community Health Centers has created those policies and requires that all employees, volunteers, and contractors follow them. This is the list of people who can direct you and provide you with the information that you need to be successful in your efforts to ensure our patients' privacy. Thank you for your participation today.